yeah. Campus USA, yeah.
This is Carbros Podcast, episode 65.
The Big 6-5.
Otherwise
time to
known
retire.
as the Big 6-5 retirement. Retirement special. Collecting that Social Security.
Yeah. Rolling into the sunset of our life.
Yeah, the old golden parachute. What's up? Welcome back. Thank you for being here. We are still remote, obviously. If you couldn't tell by the fact that we are not in the same room.
Our backgrounds are completely different.
Honestly, I kind of feel like we might stay remote. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
And use our face-to-face time for actual other stuff. I don't know.
Or intimate things.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel like the energy is not as good, but the convenience is there.
Yeah.
So,
right.
I don't know. Anyways, we're here now today. So big-ish news. We were featured on Jay Leno's Garage. Yeah, a small a boutique show called Jay Leno's Garage on CNBC. And
we were on the broadcast TV version.
Yeah, and we were like in the dark for a while, for about 6 months, as to when that would air. And then like the day before it did air, we got an email saying it's going to air tomorrow.
Yeah, surprise.
Yeah.
So it was the season premiere. So
the season premiere of Jay Leno's Garage, whatever season this is, which at the time of this recording was last week. So our segment was in there. I still have not seen it.
It's at the end.
Yeah, it's at the end of it. We're going to withhold our comments about the actual segment for another episode.
So you can get a chance to see it.
Yeah, so you can get a chance to see it, and we are still working out the logistics of reposting it on our YouTube channel, because that was something that is supposed to happen. So we're going to wait on comments on that, but we did not talk about the actual experience of going down there and filming back in November when it happened, because we didn't want to like give anything away or whatever. I think we thought it was going to air in like a month.
Yeah,
or like 3 weeks. We're like, we did it. It might come out this weekend. And so it's been a while, but I don't know. Yeah, I think we should talk about that a bit, at least share what that experience was like.
Yeah, I would say that, that experience was even better than, apart from whatever we filmed, just doing that was pretty fucking sweet.
Just doing what?
Just having the opportunity to go down there and check out the shop and hang out and stuff.
Yeah, so basically we filmed that in 2 locations, and the first one was like, it's like a auto museum basically, which was a lot of fun. The crew came, extremely professional crew. It was very cool to see what basically the high end of what we're doing looks like.
Yeah, we were kind of dreaming like, man, imagine if we had like 20 fucking people to do all the stuff that we have to do.
Yeah.
Because that whole operation, Jay Leno's Garage, is an extremely efficient, well-run operation. They're not like, where's the...
Yeah.
like, who's running the camera today? It's like, it's probably a 10, 15 person crew.
At least, yeah.
Everyone was extremely professional. Extremely polite, but the efficiency of the whole operation really blew me away. And it's new to us because we're used to doing everything.
Yeah.
And so the ability to just kind of be up front.
Yeah, just show up and just, wait until they say action.
Yeah, it's like Jay is like the last person to show up.
Yeah, Jay rolls in and like gets some makeup and the camera and sound. He's not checking out the sound levels.
Yeah.
He's not like confirming the shot.
What f-stop are you going to use in this one?
He's not like questioning their like lens choice.
He's not handing them notes on how the segment is written.
Yeah.
But that being said, I was just going to say, that being said, like it was really cool to see a fully functioning film crew in action, but I did notice like little hints of like what we do in there, because like it's not like they have a script. They just kind of show up and like, okay, totally. what do you want to say in this part? And like that's kind of that took me back to what we do, because we're like, wait, totally. What are we doing?
Yeah, I think there was a high level, at least from my part, a high level of comfort with the process, because all the shit that we hate doing, like who's going to hold this camera?
Yeah.
Or something like that. All that was taken care of. But the creative parts that we also struggle with were still present.
Yeah.
And so things about like, how are we going to say this, or what's the timing on this? It's like, great, we deal with this stuff too. And so, I mean, it's just one of those experiences where you see someone else doing a version of what you're doing, and it validates some parts of what you're doing.
Yeah.
But in this case, it was like
the fundamentals aren't different. It's just the way.
It's
done. Yeah.
It was like if there was a better way to do it, they'd be doing it. And so the stuff that they were still kind of tripping over, it's like, oh, okay, these obstacles are going to be there no matter what. So yeah, that whole thing was very positive. Jay himself is just a delight.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy, if you didn't know who he was, you would just think he's someone's like awesome uncle or like grandpa or something, you know.
Extravagant, eccentric guy.
Yeah, he is so approachable and so generous with his time. I mean, that was one of the biggest ones. So the first thing we filmed the whole segment. That, was cool experience. And then they filmed the kind of static shots of the car back in his garage. They have this like the kind of lighting and camera setup.
Yeah. Very
cool, like camera tech if you're into that kind of stuff. Back at the garage. And so they take the car there and finish it up. But you're at Jay Leno's garage. You're at his actual garage, where the first part of
basically like
it's not filmed there.
An hour or two just to like hang out there while the camera guys are getting these static shots.
Yeah, and so we went back to his garage while they filmed, and then Jay, who Jay's not there. Jay's not like making sure the shots are right again. But Jay gave us a hour tour.
Like that, yeah.
I would say
his
over an
garage.
hour. Yeah.
Just us. It was the three of us and Garrett's brother.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay, and he just walked us around his collection at our pace, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if we were curious about a car, he'd like go into it a whole bunch.
He knew. I mean, he is like the best kind of car enthusiast. He's about as good as you would hope he would be, where he is so knowledgeable about every car he has. He's not like, I don't know, they say this one's expensive. It's like everything he owns, he wants to own. He's passionate about. He knows a ton about every car he has. But then some of the stuff he has, a lot of it is like, turn of the century kind of like.
Yeah, he definitely has a style.
Like aircraft engines.
Yeah, like weird stuff. It's a level of money where, like, when everyone's like, if I had millions of dollars, here's the cars I'd own.
Yeah, I would have a Ferrari.
Like I'd have an F40 and whatever. It's like until you've had that much money for a long time, you don't understand that like the cars you want. You run out, that list runs out pretty quick, I assume.
Yeah.
It's like, there it is, there's my 12 dream cars, and then it's like, what's next? And so to see someone's collection that has been built over like 3 decades of having the means to have whatever they want, to see his taste sort of like have been unraveled. Some of the stuff in his collection is just bizarre in a good way. It's not bad.
Like you can be like a diehard car enthusiast and see stuff that you've never even heard of.
Yeah.
Like, well, this is a Spanish something with a like it's front wheel drive, but it was made in 1937 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's like rare, awesome prototypes from the 30s kind of stuff. Yeah. You know, it's just it's a surreal. It was a surreal experience, truly, and the fact that it was all encapsulated in a day.
Yeah,
it was just like, oh man, mind blowing. But yeah, we had.
And the other thing is like he basically has like two huge buildings that are on the same site, and one of them is like the parking collection area, and then he has another one that's like it's just purely where he works, or where he has like a crew.
Yeah, it's
like works and restores this stuff, and it's like as big a car shop, like mechanic shop, as you've ever seen. Like everything is in. It's like he has his entire.
Yeah.
They can do everything. They like fabricate their own stuff, like all just privately.
I mean, I think what it is like he's into project cars, and over the years he has just vertically integrated basically the entire process to bodywork, interior upholstery.
Yeah, it's like the place is more thorough than any like for-profit, restoration shop that you've ever seen, except it's just for like whatever the hell he wants to work on.
Yeah, he's basically set up to be a boutique coach builder for himself. But it's just for him. It's purely, it's like all the resources of a car manufacturer down to like making your own engine and like dynoing it and stuff. I mean, it's just incredible. It was
and the other cool thing is though, even though he has all this like really exotic stuff, he also has like an appreciation for the more normal stuff. Like in a shop, he's like, oh, this is like he had like a 68 Firebird convertible with like the overhead cams. It's like just like this kind of weird stuff.
Yeah.
It's like pretty mainstream, but he's still like really into it, and he'll talk about it for hours.
Yeah. He's pretty clearly a car guy who became rich and successful, and not someone rich and successful who became a car guy. He just he had a lot of enthusiasm and then came across the means to be able to like realize a lot of his dreams.
Yeah.
Just real quick, I mean, I don't know if we're dwelling on this or not, but probably the highlight for me, we were looking at this like Mercedes something with like a plane engine in it.
Yeah, I think I might have a video clip. I'll see if I can send it to John to see.
Yeah, if we can, we'll put it in here. But it was basically like, one of those things from like Top Gear or something, where it's like, oh, here's this like 20-liter. Yeah. Like weird one of those cars from like the 30s or 40s or something, kind of like 2-seat like missile.
But it's like the size of a Toyota Tundra.
Yeah, it's this like huge thing. But it was also one of those ones which like exposed valve train kind of thing. Like that sort of thing where you start it and it's like there's the rocker arms like
doing their thing.
Moving.
Yeah.
And so we're looking at this thing and it's just like, dude, this thing's awesome, whatever. And he was like, I don't know if he asked or what. We're like, can we hear it run? And he's like, sure. And he goes, it's like this 10-minute process, and he goes around and hand lubes.
And like you have to like help him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a 2-man job.
Yeah, he like hand lubes all the valves, like all the what is it, the rocker arms, I think. It's like where the like rocker arm and spring, stuff that is now encapsulated
20-liter inline 6
lubricated by an oil pump. But it just went to show he's not like, well, let me go get my mechanic and we'll start this thing. He's like, sure, it was
and that's the other thing, like every car in his shop, like he would fire it up for you, right? Like it's not like he doesn't have a car that just sits.
Yeah.
They're all like driven regularly.
Ready to go.
If you showed like the faintest interest in any car, he'd be like, either be like, hey, you want to sit in it, or do you want to start it up? Do you want to fire it up? Let's do it. Like, and it was just like, holy shit, that's so sweet.
Yeah, and like the craziest thing that I noticed is that he does not have a daily driver. Like he literally doesn't.
Those are his daily drivers.
Like you'd expect, like, even if you're super into cars and you own 50 cars, like you still have whatever, a pickup truck or a Tesla that you like drive to work, that you drive 70% of the time. But like because we went to 2 locations, he showed up in his GT350R, newer Mustang, and then he drove from there to the shop, which was like 15 minutes away, and then he left in some weird Citroen.
It was like a 60s Citroen or Renault or something. Yeah, I can't remember.
He does not have a daily driver.
Yeah. So it's like 10:30. He hung out with us to the end.
Yeah.
I mean, he spent his whole day there with us. I mean, whether or not he planned to be there or what. And so it's like, we're all said and done. We're wrapping up. We're loading the Fierri back onto the trailer. And he's pulling out in his Citroen, his obscure Citroen. And he drives past us and he's driving off into the night. And what was it? He's like,
au revoir, fuckers.
It's just like the final, final goodbye.
Talking to him, you kind of forget he's so known for cars, but you forget that he's a comedian.
Yeah.
So he's really quick off the cuff.
He is so quick. He is so funny. And I was definitely trying to be funny near him. And failing, you're trying to out quip Leno, and falling flat. So it was just a wonderful experience, just a great crew, and he really stood out. He's everything you would hope him to be. Basically, he's just a genuine great guy. So that was a really positive experience. Very cool, very fun all around. And the segment aired, so check it out. We will have some additional color about the segment itself, probably on the next cast. I think so. I assume. Our patrons already knew about all that. We've been posting stuff on Patreon. We have a Patreon, by the way. If you are interested in becoming a patron, which... Not only do you get sweet updates about what we're doing, but you also have a chance to interact with this podcast. So we post some of the topics that we're going to be talking about and let patrons comment or ask their own questions or whatever. So there's a link in the description below to our Patreon, or you can Google Carbra's Patreon and find it there.
I guess a quick update about Jack Diamond's Garage. It seems like the rules and stuff are slowly starting to lift now. So kind of when all this crap started, we were in the process of finding a locale to shoot, whether it was borrowing someone's shop space or renting a space, and we were getting pretty close to that. And then this whole quarantine thing kind of put a delay on that. But like I say, it looks like stuff is opening up. So I think we should have news on the production front of that pretty soon.
Hopefully.
It'll start spooling back up.
Yeah.
Just in time for 106 degree.
Can't we? Before we started, we're like, this is perfect. We can film it in the spring when it's 70 degrees outside.
Let me tell you, we love filming in extreme heat. Only positive.
Looks like we've already missed the window on nice spring weather.
Solid.
Can I just say, with stuff starting to get back to normal, I went to Costco the other day, and they finally had toilet paper, which is a big plus. But I want to say there is still one item that I didn't realize it was a big deal. But Coin, you're the same way. When you work on a car, you like to wear latex or nitrile gloves. And so I've been working on the Subaru, and I finally ran out of gloves. So I was like, I'll just run down to Harbor Freight and pick up some disposable, gloves. And walked in, and the whole shelf was just completely empty. And they had a little sign that was limit 2 per customer, but every size of every style and 5mm, 7mm. And I was like, what the fuck? So I asked the lady, she's like, oh yeah, we've been sold out of those for weeks. We have no idea when we're going to be restocked. And I'm like, god damn. Amazon's sold out, Home Depot's sold out. It's just that item is going to be a pain in the ass to get.
Am because of something else I'm working on, I am staring at the Amazon behind the scenes data. And as of last week, the top 10 search terms on Amazon site-wide are face mask, Clorox wipes, hand sanitizer, toilet paper, Lysol spray, Lysol mask, disinfectant wipes, iPhone 11 case. Coming in at number 9.
Solid.
A little taste of normal life
creeping
back in. But still very much in the freaking out about essential.
I don't really get the gloves thing with something.
Yeah. let's not go down.
Put on my gloves when I go to the supermarket.
Let's keep the car on the highway and not take the
I'm going to Walmart.
Not take the quarantine off ramp, the quarantine humor.
All right.
Yeah, that is quite annoying. So I've had to resort using just generic mechanics gloves, which they're fine. I'm just not a fan. Like you lose all the dexterity and stuff of.
Yeah, and they're just they get pretty gross over time.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, oh, let me put on the crusty old, crusty old crap.
I gotta go check the mail.
Yeah, let me glove up. I'm gonna drive my own car.
I got my N95 on. I'm ready to go.
I got my N95 gloves with tiny respirators built into the finger pads.
It's a little tiny fan that's just constantly circulating the filter. Yeah.
Yeah, I put a new set of gloves on to open my front door and then throw them away.
They're tainted.
I burn my clothes as soon as I take them off.
Can I also just say, I don't know why this feels like such a sad dick move to me, but I'm starting to notice these kind of quarantine related paraphernalia, like gloves and masks, in gutters and shit. Like trash, just like a mask kind of blowing down the sidewalk.
Yeah. Little remnant,
dirty man. It's all brown.
Yeah, it's like, thanks. As if littering wasn't bad enough. Okay, back on the highway. We're back. We pulled onto the shoulder just a bit.
Yeah, I just put the hazards on for a second, and now we're back.
This is an automotive podcast.
We slap the kids around.
We are not. Yeah, we got gas at the quarantine humor gas station. We got some Slim Jims. Now we're back on the road. Okay. So I spent about a week fixing and detailing something mundane on the M5, and I'm not even going to mention what it was. Just so that
I think we know.
Yeah,
because I feel like every week I talk about some boring thing that I went way overboard on, about how I glued sandpaper onto Q-tips and was able to polish the volume control on the infotainment. But
there's a crumb that was stuck in there since 2003.
I used the WD-40 straw and attached it to my vacuum. I was able to suck the dirt off the individual carpet fibers around the gas pedal. But I have come across a product. I am not being paid to endorse this product, but it's a glass cleaner, and I think anyone who, even if you're not into detailing cars, it's like cleaning glass is kind of a pain in the ass, just no matter what. And it
never really works how you think it is.
Yeah, it's just hard to get really good glass. And I've used a couple different products, including Windex, which is just the household name and kind of the worst one somehow. It's Windex is kind of lame. I've used vinegar, straight white vinegar and newspaper before, and that actually does a pretty good job because newspaper doesn't leave little paper towel fibers. Yeah. But I have come across this product. Someone recommended it to me. It's called Perfect Glass. And I think
Perfect Glass.
It's not Perfect Glass. I think you can get it anywhere, Amazon, maybe even some part stores carry it. It's a pretty well-known product. But it is a glass cleaner, marketed as a glass cleaner. But it is isopropyl alcohol based. So, which is already a very effective just cleaner in general, and hand sanitizer. There might be. But it's an awesome glass cleaner. First of all, awesome glass cleaner. It truly is a solid glass cleaner. But I was doing a shot under the GT2 RS for an upcoming Pure video. And so I had it on a lift and I was shooting its guts. Basically, I was taking a picture of its innards, its underbelly, and it was pretty dirty. And so I was like, I need to clean up the bottom of this car. And the owner was like, just use the glass cleaner on the oil pan and shit, parts stuff. And I was like, it's glass cleaner. And he was like, "Hey, it's kind of like shampoo, body wash. Like,
It doesn't matter.
it's all kind
It's all
of
same
bullshit."
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so credit to him. I don't think he knew what he was doing, but I used Perfect Glass to clean stuff under the car, like control arms and like panels and shit. And it did a really good job. And then so the story is I have since used Perfect Glass to clean all sorts of shit. My laptop being one of them, clean the entire thing as like a spot detailer. Yeah, I haven't used it as like a household cleaner, but it is a killer all-purpose parts cleaner for random jobs. It has replaced Simple Green for me because it's a glass cleaner, so it leaves no residue. It's not some like auto detailer with like shiny finish. It's like if you just need to clean something effectively, it kills for that. So like I've been very impressed with that product. So check it out, Perfect Glass. It is good for just about every possible cleaning scenario.
Not to burst your bubble, but I've known about this for like the past 2 years. Like our friend Nate actually showed this to me.
Perfect Glass?
No, not Perfect Glass, but just using glass cleaner like to clean like pretty much anything on a fucking car that's greasy, like under the car or something. Because when Nate was installing the coilovers on Garrett's old GTI, I was there just hanging out and filming it for fun. And he had this like aerosol glass, like foaming glass cleaner. And he was just like spraying it on all the fucking like control arms and all the suspension parts, like cleaning it all off. And I was like, what are you doing? And I was like, what is that? He's like, oh, it's just glass cleaner, but it gets all the grease off. It works great. And I was like, holy shit. And so I bought like a case of it on Amazon for super cheap. And I specifically like this like aerosol one because, having to constantly use a pump spray is kind of annoying, but.
Yeah, I'm guessing he was using, it's called Sprayway.
Oh yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
That is, and I've used that too. That is also a very effective one.
Yeah.
But I kind of don't like, it foams.
Yeah.
It's like it's an aerosol and then it foams and it kind of gets everywhere. So it's good for those jobs where you're just like
exactly,
hose down the fucking wheel well.
Yeah.
But yeah, my guess, I haven't looked into it, but I would not be surprised if Sprayway is also isopropyl alcohol based because that's really the magic. That stuff just evaporates into nothing.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think you sell more if you market it as a glass cleaner than like, I don't know,
spray it on greasy stuff.
Cleaner. Yeah. But yeah, pro tip, Sprayway and Perfect Glass. Just keep it in your just keep it on your tool belt. I bet everyone's just going to be like, yeah, duh.
Idiots.
That's all I do. Okay, so just one more quick thing. This happened to me a couple weeks ago, but it is still car related. So I was driving home on like a two-way, whatever, not residential, but in the city street. And someone turned in front of me. Setting. And it was not downtown setting. Not downtown. This is bustling city metropolis. Like you'll be driving and someone will turn in front of you.
Yeah.
And if they go fast enough, it's fine. They have essentially not cut you off, but they've entered the highway in front of you.
Got up to speed. Yeah. Without.
And then if they get up to speed, it's like, fine. Sometimes it's like, ooh, it's a bit of a dick move. Let's see how you play this. And then like they pull it off and it's like, okay, fine. Who cares? So that happened to me. Someone essentially cut me off and it was in a Model 3. It was in a Tesla. And they did not accelerate fast. So I had to like haul on the brakes up to this person.
Yeah.
And it's like, is there a worse car to do that in? You're in a fucking fast electric car. Like, I kind of understand it when you're in a shitty gas-powered car.
Like, I really don't want to stand on it.
And it's like, man, I just don't want to make this poor thing downshift. Like, in my like Corolla, it's like, wee, it's like you're in a single speed electric car.
Silent.
that is known for being fast. You're in like doesn't matter what model you're in, that thing can move, and you're driving
squirting around.
It's known for exactly being good at this kind of situation. Quick get up from a stop, and they went slow. It was like, dude, this is offensive. It's like, fucking get on it. You're not even gonna make noise. It's like I was blown away. Because usually when that happens, it's a Prius. It's like usually when it's like I'm in the fast lane. Oh, it's a Prius. Of course, it's like a Prius going like 60 in the fast lane. But yeah, that's not a good look in a Tesla. There's just no excuse. There's no excuse for going too slow in that car. You don't want to waste the kilowatts. There's no. It's like
they're running on whatever the equivalent of fumes is.
It's like there's just no.
You think the autopilot would just like override the driver?
It's like he's like canceling it because it's trying to accelerate for him. No, I want to go real slow. I want to.
I'm very timid.
He probably wanted you to see his custom vanity license plate or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Like
AC, no gas.
Yep.
Tesla owners love custom license plates. I have never seen a higher percentage of custom license plates.
And they're all the same related theme. Like it's like
always they're like
it's not their last name or their profession. It's just like look at me.
No electric. No oil.
Yeah.
Like get it? Yeah. Electric cars have been around for 2 decades now. We get it. We get that there's no gas. Silent AC power or whatever. Like, yeah. It's not clever anymore, but they love it. Model 3 for me.
Yep.
I think wasn't that one that I saw like a year ago that had like the 0 to 60 time like on a custom license plate?
Frank.
That one was
that's like the ultimate.
0 to 60 in 2.198 seconds.
And the best is I think it was a 90D, a P90D, and like what a couple of years later, a P100D came out and just devastated that guy. I'm sure.
Yeah, he's gonna have to take that plate off. Okay. Here is the main topic of this podcast.
The meat.
And it is a sizzler.
I don't think you're ready for it.
I hope you are sitting down or just steady state cruising on the highway. But convertibles.
In general.
Damn.
Yep.
Just all convertibles.
All convertibles.
All convertibles. I mean, it's kind of a contentious topic in many ways. They're hard to nail down. It's a difficult vehicle segment to really pin down because it is both like a luxurious thing, a luxurious kind of
top down on PCH.
Yeah, just sort of like a gentle experience, but also a lot of sports cars, hardcore kind of sports cars or convertibles,
or at least come in a convertible form.
Or come in a convertible form, which is odd to me. That one I don't really get. Like, why is the S2000 a convertible? If it's supposed to be like a sports car, I guess it's not.
I don't think it's supposed to. Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be a hardcore track car. It's just supposed to be it was supposed to be a fun sports car that, you know, anyone can drive, male, female.
I think one of the like ultra like traditional definitions of a sports car is like open top.
Really?
Like ultra like
orthodox.
Yeah.
Orthodox sporting. Yeah, when it was like a 6-cylinder Jaguar.
Yeah, all those British sports cars, yeah.
With a drop head feature or whatever. Yeah, and then some cars will be like, yeah, it's like a cool car, like an M3, and then it'll be like, oh, and the convertible version.
Oh yeah, this reminds me. Yesterday, I was going to the grocery store and I saw, and I didn't even know these were out yet. An M8,
yeah,
convertible.
I mean, it kind of,
and I was like, oh, sweet, but I don't know what to think about it.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. How do I feel about this?
Yeah. M8 is like, it's funny when certain cars will come, even in the coming of them, like this thing's happening. It's coming. You're still
no real
feeling
hype.
like that. You're like, do I care about this? And then it sort of comes and goes, and like you see one, and you're like,
Oh yeah.
do I care about this? And in the case of that one, I think the needle has landed on don't care. Really,
Especially
it's just
convertible.
yeah, it's just this like big. I forgot they made that. They brought the 8 Series back.
Yeah.
And then it's
The
like
coupe version is fucking cool looking, but
Yeah.
it's cool looking, but
the convertible one is
BMW
cool. It's like a generic convertible.
BMW has basically become. Let's just take a quick clover leaf roundabout from the convertible highway. BMW has basically become this bowl of ingredients.
Mhm.
And they're just like, we can bake these ingredients in like 60 different ways. But all of the ways they bake those ingredients kind of taste the same. They all kind of taste the same.
So you're saying they're the Taco Bell of the car manufacturers?
They're kind of Taco Bell, where they're like, now it's like a waffle in a taco shape.
Here's a completely
with,
new product using
in
all
your-
these.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we put this one's got the taco and the tortilla and the meat
Yeah.
and the Doritos chips. You know, it's like any number of ways. And then it's like the M8 is coming, but there's really no part of you that's ever like, this is going to be, what is this thing going to feel like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game
It's
changer.
like this
Yeah.
brand new.
It's like
Even
the book has already been written.
yeah, it's like they're pulling from the same ingredients bowl. And so it's like it's cool, but you kind of know what you're going to get, and it makes it, unless you are just down for BMW, which, you know, a lot of people are. It takes a lot of the sizzle out of it.
Not only that, but they
Where-
also have, I mean, like a lot of their most popular cars now are like front wheel drive based,
Yeah.
like transverse, like the new 2 Series or whatever. It's all those like little SUVs and stuff.
Basically that company, like, I would say they started going downhill about, it's probably about 10 years ago, where they pretty clearly abandoned the like ultimate driving machine thing
Yeah.
to just like, look, this is a strong, just luxury kind of brand. But like, you know, it's not like there's a new M3 coming and you're like, oh
Yeah.
shit, like
I can't wait to see what it's going to be like.
a new M3. Yeah.
I can only, what kind of engine are they going to come up with this
Yeah,
time?
what,
Twin turbo
you know,
straight 6?
What are they gonna? It's like they're kind of done. You know, they're kind of done. I like the M2. It's cool that among those ingredients, they're able to still make compelling, competitive stuff. But that's like, gone are the days of bespoke anything, really.
Yeah.
Um,
Hand built.
you know, just you're just not gonna get. It's still good stuff. It's kind of a different company now. So, anyways, convertibles back on the highway. I had originally thought of this because, like, convertibles are fun from 0 to like 35 miles an hour. You know, like perfect convertible is like beach town, like
Cruising.
stop signs.
Yeah.
You know, you're just kind of like, people are out. You're out there with them. You're very
Downtown
exposed.
setting.
Yeah, you're very downtown, like kind of relaxed garden party.
You see your friends dining on the patio. of the
Get a
cafe.
wave. Yeah.
Other people are in. You know, it's like you're putting yourself out there.
You pass a guy in another convertible and he gives
Yeah,
you a
you get, you know, you both kind of like, you high five across the lines. It's like you're out in the elements. You're basically like walking. You know, it's like, if you've never been in a convertible before, which it's like, that's possible with the top down, you feel more exposed than you would expect.
Yeah.
Like you feel like you're just sort of hanging out.
You're out there.
Yeah, it's like it's about as exposed as being on a bicycle, if not more. I don't know why. You're very exposed. I think it's because a convertible is a choice, and it's like the
and
top is
they
down,
stand out
ladies
quite a
and
bit.
gentlemen.
Everything else on the road.
Well, I mean, when you have the top open,
You're
it's
like,
not like
it's party time.
it's like he chose.
He didn't have to.
He didn't have to. He opened the top, and he is putting himself out there. And so but it's a cool experience. But as soon as you turn on to like a not that setting street, where it's like, yeah, we're downtown and like the music, playing the music or whatever, and then it's like, oh, now we're just like on the 4-lane, like
going 70,
55 mile an hour, or like the highway's the worst, and then it's just like
then you're in a fucking hurricane.
Then it's like this part's less fun. And so it's like there's a time and a place where in that setting they're dope. It's like they are a lot of fun, but then in all the other settings it's like, wait a minute, this part's not fun.
Well, and then when you see a convertible with the top up driving on the freeway and it's all like blowing out.
Yeah. They also age very poorly.
Yes.
Yeah. So the thing that originally got me on this topic was when people are on the highway in a convertible with the top down but the windows up.
Yeah.
It's like all full up.
Well, to get the whole like so that their hair is not going like forward and stuff like that. Yeah.
It's still offensively windy and loud, but
now it looks really weird.
But it can pull you into manageable with the windows up. But you look
looking like a complete idiot.
You look like such a tool because it's like, like I don't want the wind. It's like I would put the top up, but I'm going too fast now. It's like I made the decision a mile ago.
I found a nice happy medium.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I like sometimes I'll see that and it's just like, oh man, that's like a pretty weak look. Couldn't commit.
So I have two convertible stories that I thought of. One of them was when Garrett owned his Miata and we were living in LA. I forgot what year Miata it was, but it was like 08 or something.
Yeah.
He picked me up from work to go to lunch, and we went to the In-N-Out Burger near LAX. And top down, and I think that was probably the first time I've ever really been in a convertible, or it's definitely a vivid memory of being in a convertible because we were driving down right by LAX, and so like airplanes are flying overhead of you, and so it was crazy to be like, holy shit, you could just look straight up and just see the fucking airplanes.
It was a good first time.
It was just like, whoa, there's so much headroom in this convertible.
Majestic even.
Yeah. And then the other story I have is in college, I worked as a valet parker driver guy at a kind of a fancy hotel in Marina del Rey, which is like a kind of a beach city near Venice, Santa Monica.
Convertible city.
And so the guy hands me his little ticket to get his keys, and it's a Mustang. So I run out to the parking lot to get it, and it's a convertible Mustang. And so the top's up, like, because it's parked and locked. And so when I get in it, I'm like, I bet you this guy's going to want his top down. So I put the top down for him and then drove it out to him. And he was like, oh, you put the top down. And like, he was very disappointed by my decision. And so he gets in it and instantly puts the top back up and drives away.
Yeah.
Takes away your tip.
I was like, damn, I bet I made the wrong call on that. I thought it was a nice night for the top down, but...
Everyone I know who owns a convertible, it's like maybe it spends realistically it's probably 96, 8% of the time that top is up.
Yep.
Because it's like some people have convertibles for like a second car. I think a Miata is actually a very popular, mature kind of second car for people. It's not like
I don't think I've ever driven a Miata with the top up.
But I just mean like it's normal to have one as like not your daily driver.
Right.
Like, let's have the fun.
But a Miata is so small that like someone like me, like it's like driving with the top up is not fun.
You gotta put that on.
Yeah.
But some people will just have daily drivers that are convertible.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like you're commuting in that thing. You're not gonna put the top down.
Yeah.
And so like there's gotta be this like slow kind of tension that builds up where it's like, why do I have a convertible if I don't have the top down? Like, is today a good day to put the top? Shouldn't I have
my money if I have stuff?
Shouldn't I have the top down? You know, it's like you're like pushed to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was kind of thinking with, gas cars supposedly going away, I could see the convertible becoming almost like the idea of an electric convertible sounds pretty weak.
You think so?
Like,
I think that's cool.
I don't really.
Maybe if it's like a purpose built like electric sports car, which doesn't really exist yet, then maybe.
I don't know.
Like a Tesla, or like I dropped the top in my Tesla.
I could see them doing it. Yeah. That makes more sense to me. It's like the silent little magic car.
I don't know. I feel like at least if you like cars, I think the cool thing about a convertible is like hearing the engine to me.
Think so.
Banging through that's why I like Miatas and even like. I respect. I don't want to own one, but I respect the Mustang GT convertible, just because this like adds to the experience. But
that is
I could see like more people gravitating towards that in the future as cars become like gas cars become more of just toys.
See, I mean, this is just again the wide breadth of convertible vehicles. Where maybe a sports car. Maybe that would be dumb electric. Although I think the Tesla Roadster was a convertible, wasn't it?
Yeah. Target,
whatever it was. But like a Bentley, whatever convertible. That's not about hearing the engine and stuff.
That's just about putting yourself.
That's just about being out there. And so I think electric cars would replace that for sure. Like I can see.
There hasn't been an electric convertible aside from the Tesla Roadster,
not that I know of. Not yet. I could see it happening though.
Well, VW has that like dune buggy concept thing. That's kind of its own. That thing's pretty sweet. But
yeah.
Like electric dune buggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, convertibles. It's like on one hand they suck, but on the other hand they're pretty sweet. So I don't know.
Depends on the situation. So a couple of our patrons wrote in on this topic, and first off, we got Jake.
Sup, Jake? Is that his whole name?
He responds with "Sup, guys." On the convertible topic.
Sup, Jake?
I never seem to see anyone under the age of 37 driving them, besides maybe an NB Miata on a mountain road sometime. As a ginger, they are completely out of the question for me. I get a sunburn on my arm just from having the window down. I don't feel like whipping out the SBF 50 every time I want to go for a drive.
Yeah. Why? What is it about the age of 37? That's a very specific age, which we are also getting close to. So
it's true.
Yeah.
The other thing, what he is touching on too, is usually convertibles are nice weather things, like top down. But if you're like an older male or you have short hair anyways or whatever, it's like you're going to get blasted on
the
by
green
sun.
The green, speaking of NB Miata, the one that we used in the Chad video.
Yeah.
I bought that car in the Bay Area, so I went there with my dad to pick it up, and I drove it back. Like I say, I can't drive a Miata with the top up. It's just too claustrophobic.
Yeah.
So I drove it back, 3 hours with the top down, and it was in like June. And that was like one of the worst. And it was like just my arm was like shredded red because I you don't think like, oh, I'm getting on my convertible, I better put sunscreen on.
Yeah, well, Jake does.
It didn't really cross my mind, and I paid the price on that long drive back.
But it's like whether it's sun exposure or just keeping your hair from going everywhere, it's like you kind of need a hat.
That's not a problem for me.
It's like convertible.
Then you have to worry about your hat maybe blowing off.
Yeah, they should do some hat clips that like go to the seat kind of thing,
like a Hans device, but for your hat.
Yeah, a hat Hans. Yeah, I mean, I think to Jake's point, you just gotta suck it up because it's
stop being a little bitch, Jake.
Yeah, look, Jake. Yeah, I don't know. It's like That's part of it. And I'm sure that's a consideration where there are people who are like, wow, this is it. This is the time. It's sunny. We're at the beach, convertible. And it's like, but that sun, I don't know.
It's going to get me.
Maybe today is not the day. Yeah. Gonna like lube up. Bathing suit.
So next up, we got Chris Coyne, who wrote in.
What's up, Chris?
He says, convertibles sure are frustrating when you think you've spotted a great deal on an M3, only to realize it's actually a horrible deal on a convertible.
Yeah.
If the Miata came in a hardtop version, those would be worth double what the standard ones are.
Yeah, I wonder about that. Like if they had made a true hardtop S2000 or something.
Well, they have those
they made
attachments that can clip on and become a hardtop.
Yeah, but that to me it's way different. As soon as it's an option, you still have the struggle of like, should I pull the hard top off?
Well, that's probably like a 2-man operation to even.
That's what I mean. Then it's like even worse. It's like, it's a convertible, but I never pull the. It's like Targa tops. It's like you got to decide at home. Right. If you want to go, or T-tops or something, you know, it's like you gotta hold on, let me unscrew.
The lock's fidgeting you.
Yeah, let me like.
I just sent a picture of the rare NB Miata coupe.
Oh, okay.
Sweet.
Yeah, here's a picture of that. Yeah. What's the deal with that? Is this factory?
It was factory, but only in Japan.
I was gonna say that's probably not America.
I think they made like 500 of them or something. But
damn.
Yeah.
Sharp.
I wonder, do you think that would have like a stronger following if it was like a little like coupey thing?
I would think so.
The Miata?
Yeah.
As long as they made both, I would think so. Like, well, they have that new one, the RF.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of like that, but it's still a weird power target, I think.
Kind of different, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'd be cooler if it was more like a dedicated coupe.
Yeah. Well, actually, I've been staring at this Miata coupe photo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm kind of agreeing with him. I think this would be a different car if it was sold in a coupe. Because right now to invest in the Miata like subculture is kind of a statement. You have to, it's like they are one, and the whole convertible thing is just part of it.
It's baked in.
Yeah, it's baked in.
What's funny is that most people seem to like Miatas, like despite them being a convertible, as opposed to like because.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not like I love an open top, so that's why I bought a Miata.
Yeah, but I think it keeps a lot of people away because it's like, I don't want to be a Miata owner. You know, it's like, it's a
especially
whole thing.
in like probably people in other states, like in non-sunny states, I should say, because like I guarantee you, like there's not an NB Miata out there that doesn't have a leaky roof or something like that.
Yeah, you got to keep up on it.
Yeah,
but yeah, this coupe thing, I could see that kind of blowing up and still being kind of a like trashy subculture, because Miatas are like, they're not ruined, but they're a little stancy.
They're getting there.
Yeah.
They're getting a little, they're like drifting. I think if they sold a coupe, they would have gotten there real fast. Like they would have, because it's just this, how many small.
I mean, the FRS is basically the coupe Miata, really.
Yeah, that's a good point. FRS is. And they are well on their way.
they're deep in the culture.
Those cars are being wrecked at way faster rate. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's like the mark of success for a company, is how soon after you release the model is it seen as like a trashy, like like kid, you know, like fucked up wide fenders and like slammed
stands.
Is it like, how soon after you release it is it like difficult to find a clean one?
Yeah.
It's just like, that's the metric of success. So I would say FRS very successful
there
by that metric. Yeah, I agree. I'm there with him.
All right. So last up, we have Quinn Milton.
What's up, Quinn?
He says, "Remember those Dodge convertible trucks? Yeah, I want one."
I do not.
And so we were Coy and I were not familiar with it, but I did a quick Google.
He's talking about the Dakota of the early 90s.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's fucking banging.
I am
Fucking
looking at
party
this.
on wheels.
That is party time. Wow. It's
There
kind
was a
of
lot of like,
Jeep-esque.
yeah,
right?
there was I remember like back in the 90s, it was like fairly popular to like make your like Toyota into a convertible.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
chop
big
the
shit.
top. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, just like a slammed like whatever Toyota, but like they just like, yeah, I cut the top off. Why the fuck not?
Can I just like take a detour to here? I have found a picture of a Dakota Sport with 3 full-grown gentlemen in it,
On like a bench seat in the front.
top down. Yeah. So here's that. Because we have searched, and as far as I can tell, it does not exist, for a photo of 3 grown men in a McLaren F1.
Oh,
If anyone has a photo of that, I'd love to see it.
we should have asked Jay.
Jay has a F1, and it wasn't until afterwards we thought like we should have taken a picture in that because
It's me and my friends going.
me and my 3 best buds in my McLaren, 3 big men just enjoying the ultimate sports car. But yeah, this thing's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That is like.
I'm
good look.
looking through the Google images of it, and I'm sad to see, because you know how some people like bolt 2 bucket seats into the bed of a truck, and so like 2 people can sit in there. I'm pretty disappointed I don't see an option where it could be 4 grown men in this convertible pickup truck.
Yeah, well, 5.
Yeah.
Here we go. Camper shell on a convertible truck.
I see that one. Yeah.
This is just opening new.
It's kind of funny. Like, I want a convertible, but I also want a truck. It needs to be practical.
Everything. I also want to be able to live in this thing. Mm-hmm. What can't I do in it? That reminds me of the Chevy SSR, right?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. That
Back it up.
That Dakota with the camper.
Yeah, dude.
That's like literally like. Do you want a truck except it's backwards?
Do you want?
Do you want to be in the open, but do you want your cargo to be covered up?
Do you want none of the advantages of a truck? Zero of the truck.
It's literally like the opposite of how it came.
Do you want?
Okay, the driver will sit in the open air.
Okay, you're out.
And your cargo will be enclosed.
And then your cargo gets the nice little camping section. Is it big enough to sleep in? It is not.
No.
It's not that kind of.
In there.
It's not that kind of useful.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I would probably put that up there on one of the better finds.
Yeah.
Carbros finds. Camper shell. But so yeah, SSR, right? Isn't that a convertible?
Yep.
Yeah, but that was like so over the top styled that I guess technically it's a truck, but I don't think anyone ever used that as a truck.
It was strongly on the like boulevard.
It was like a rich man's PT Cruiser.
It's almost almost like a convertible El Camino or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are kind of neat. I will not say that they are aging poorly.
Yeah, a car like that probably won't really ever age because they probably won't make something like that again.
Yeah, and like the audience for it is small, but it exists.
Yeah, actually, that's one of those cars you actually just forget. Oh yeah, they actually made that.
Yeah,
a factory built this.
Same with the Prowler.
Oh yeah,
was that a convertible too?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had an SSR for the week and then a Prowler for the weekend.
Prowler daily driver.
Yuri from the Straight Pipes has a Prowler.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
and he lives in like Canada in like the snow. Like he has pictures of him driving with the top down in the snow. Yeah.
You can't the thing about the Prowler. I think those have aged well. The only part that was bad from the start and is still bad was that they didn't put a V8 in it for whatever, for whatever reason, size, cost, whatever. but you can't you don't accidentally own a Prowler.
I just bought it.
So it's just it's such a bold statement of a car that that's the only, you're gonna get noticed in that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you can, like a Porsche, something, you could be like, what? I didn't do this for the attention.
Yeah.
It's I didn't. Where a Prowler is you're out there, you're in your Prowler, there to be seen. Yeah, those things are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So I don't know, convertibles. Did we get anywhere? I don't think.
No.
I'm just gonna go for it and say we didn't.
Yeah.
we added some evidence, but we didn't reach a conclusion.
We have basically crop dusted the topic and decided that
we're not bold enough to take a stance.
Really. Yeah, we've taken a bite, decided we do not understand the flavor, and we have taken the rest of it to go. But yeah, convertibles, pick one up. I mean, I kind of want one. I'm not against them. S2000, sweet.
Yeah.
Gotta say, my Miata dogs are kind of barking again.
Yeah. NSX.
It's been too long.
Targa. I think Targa is probably my personal sweet spot because a Targa, I think it's because you've got a lot of back behind you where you're not quite as out there, but it's still very open air.
I feel like I like a convertible more than a Targa because the coolest thing about a convertible is there's no blind spots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Or maybe just because Miatas are so small, it's I can just reach out and touch the road.
Yeah.
Just drag my finger along.
Got your arm out the window, picking up quarters on the road. Yeah. Okay. This is a topic that John and I do not know the answer to, but Garrett has listed rather offensively as the ultimate jack-off vehicle.
Okay.
So the stakes are high.
So I just saw one of these. This was a couple weeks ago when I added it on here. So there's a lot of cars that people drive because it makes them look kind of cool or hip. And some of them are actually good. An E30 M3 is hyped up, but it's still a cool car.
Prowler.
Prowler. A lot of the air-cooled Porsche stuff is that way. They're cool, but they're also hyped. People want to be seen in them because it makes them look hip to it.
It gives you kind of the not hipster, but that same flavor of I'm in the know.
Yeah, I'm high fashion. I know what's cool.
Yeah, this is actually a very sophisticated choice. If you knew.
But I found something that I think takes the cake for that. I don't know. Should I just tell you guys, or should I just send it?
What? Oh, yeah. Okay. Why don't you send it, and then we will react to it live.
Okay.
And we'll place the photo so that people watching can also react to it live.
Okay. Well, the thing you need to see the ads, so I just added them to the notes, so just go ahead and check those out.
It's a video or
no? There's just two links to ads.
Okay.
All right.
Oh boy. Yeah. Dang. Okay, so if you are audio only, what has just been flashed on the screen is the Volkswagen Eurovan.
Specifically the camper.
The camper edition,
camper, the full, it's pretty much all years, right? From the bus to the what was the 80s kind of
the Vanagon,
the Vanagon, the Westphalia, the 4x4 kind of stuff, to the 2000s era Eurovan. The Eurovan is probably the worst.
I agree, yeah.
Because it does
$32,000.
Yeah, and first of all, the price. That's what you're really calling attention to, right? Insane price they come in.
That's why I added the ad.
Yeah, because an older one, it's you kind of have to know about fixing cars and stuff. It's kind of like an old air-cooled Porsche where it's there's a lot of upkeep and knowledge.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of character.
But it's old, and yeah, it's like it's got a lot of character. Whereas these are modern enough to not
be cool.
have that type of character. I don't know anything about them, like about if they're actually like worth it.
I don't either, but then I saw these things and I was like, those prices can't be. The other one is a 2002.
Yeah,
it's a $44,000.
Yeah, so this is. I mean, you probably look it up, but it's gonna be difficult to describe. But it's just a van. It's a Euro van.
It's like built out modern like Westphalia.
Yeah, like pop up tent kind of thing. But $44,000 with 60,000 miles.
I mean, maybe the stuff that these are outfitted with is like really expensive, high end stuff. I don't fucking know. But like, why would you not just buy a Ford or an actual RV or like what? I don't get like why.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with this thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a van. I paid $50,000 for it, but it's a Volkswagen. It's cool.
Yeah.
I've been told.
Like, there's no way that fucking thing's reliable. That's like a shitty era of VW too.
Yeah. So
it's not like a Toyota where like, oh, it'll run forever.
Yeah, that was
rare ass van is like easy to maintain when you're like out in the fucking Rockies.
Yeah, that was.
Oh yeah, I know. I bought the VW because it's kind of cool and it looks cool on Instagram.
The like 80s or whatever, the Westphalia stuff. They're finicky. It's like they're not.
They're gutless.
Yeah, it's not a Rubicon. You know, where it's like this thing has gotten me.
Like, why don't you just fucking buy a Jeep? Like, you can buy like a brand new Jeep for the fucking price of this thing.
Well, you can't. To be fair, this thing is like you sleep in them.
It's pretty outfitted, but I don't know.
People
you can buy like an actual RV for $10,000.
Yeah. People.
I think my dad's like 30-foot RV was like half the price of this thing.
Yeah. And it's small, but I don't know.
It's like,
yeah, if you have more than one person in this, it's like unbearably cramped, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm there with you on the price. I wouldn't hate this thing if they were.
Yeah. I looked in like the regular Euro vans are kind of expensive, but they're like not bad. They're like $10,000, which is still kind. I mean, they're still kind of a lot of money, but this is just. So unless all this camping shit is, I don't know. I guess it's not cheap, but I don't know. I feel like you buy this to make a statement. I guess is my point. You don't buy this because you're into the outdoors. You buy it because you're into the outdoors and you want people to like know you're into a very specific type of the two
Yeah, this is air cooled Porsche mixed with outdoor flavor. It's two. Yeah. It's two intersecting full of hype segments right now. I am outdoorsy, which let's be honest, for the majority of people means I drive to like national parks and like camp in the campgrounds,
which is exactly what this guy is doing.
And like go on a hike or two. It's just
I put my bicycles on the back of it.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm hardcore or anything. But
I'm outdoorsy, but I want a little bit of a luxury. I want a stove and a built-in kitchen and a bed to sleep in.
Which is fine. Who doesn't? But is that like coupled with?
You're not gonna fucking hit any trails in that thing. Wait, this thing isn't even. Is this even all-wheel drive?
I don't know.
I think it is. It says front-wheel drive on the ad.
Yeah, my guess is it's not.
That makes it even worse.
I'm going
front-wheel drive. Yeah. Those hard to reach places what you want is a 4,000-pound front wheel drive minivan.
$44,000. Yeah, I mean, if you're actually cool, the actual cool version is a Mercedes Sprinter van. It's like that is the you actually know what you're doing vehicle.
Right.
And but also high end. They're expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive.
And like but they're badass and like.
Oh, hold on.
Strong and well built.
The first ad for the one that's 32,000, the 2001, includes a new transmission at 36,000 miles.
Well, that was the one thing too. It's like he had to replace the transmission after 36,000 miles, but now the vehicle has, he could round up to 97,000 miles. So he has like triple the miles as when he needed to replace the whole transmission.
Yep. It's got a strong 6-cylinder. So I guess he's have a VR6. 2.8 liter front wheel drive with low-speed traction control, 4-speed automatic transmission, fully independent suspension. That's front-wheel drive, fully independent suspension is what that's what you're looking for when you're on the trail, right?
Sick. I mean, yeah, not my cup of tea.
I don't know.
But coupled with the fact that they're extremely popular, is, I don't know, it's no good. Unless something is bulletproof. That's always my thing. It's like
a transmission in 36.
Yeah, it's like you can kind of get away with charging insane prices. I still don't agree. Like, I would never buy them, but certain vehicles, like the FJ Cruiser, the Toyota FJ Cruiser, they're so expensive, or even any Toyota, really. It's like they're so expensive, but they're so reliable. They're so reliable, where it's like the cost of entry is the cost of ownership, basically.
Right.
Because it's like, this thing will go anywhere. It's hard to get stuck. It's just bulletproof. Unless you get it real fucked up, you're going to blow an axle or something. And then it's like, but that's on you. These things just go forever. In those cases, I'm always like, okay, these are kind of overpriced, but
it's at least understandable.
Yeah, people, once you have one, you're buying peace of mind. Whereas this thing, like,
you're definitely not buying peace of mind.
The whole point of like having your whole life with you in a van is that you can disappear in the wilderness and be self-sustaining. I don't want to be like whittling a new input shaft out of like
I can't think of a worse car to like be out in the middle of nowhere and need a part for.
Oh yeah.
You're at some like hick out in the boonies.
You're in like
AutoZone. Yeah. Do you have a new axle seal for a 2001 Eurovan Westfalia?
front wheel drive.
Yeah, it's the front wheel drive one. Yeah, pretty bad. All right, I'm feeling that. Pretty high up there on the douche nozzle.
All right.
Yeah, good one. If anyone else can top that, go for it.
Yeah, feel free. It's like the new Cobalt theory.
All right, so our last car-related topic comes from Patreon. It comes from Tim Dempsey.
What's up, Tim?
He says, "G'day, mate. What do you bros think of Suzuki?"
Isn't Tim in Australia? Is this the hot chips guy?
Oh, I think so, yeah.
That way he's g'daying us.
So he says, "What do you bros think of Suzuki? Should they make a return to the U.S.? Do they even make cool cars? I feel like their lineup's pretty weak, but at least the Jimmy's cool."
Suzuki. We talked about Suzuki on here, right? We made fun of their commercial.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
the Forenza and something else. I think. Yeah.
I actually don't know anything about Suzuki. Are they Japanese? They are. Right?
Yeah.
Suzuki is like the last name. Suzuki is like Smith in Japan. It's like
really?
The name Suzuki is like their like default name.
John Suzuki.
Yeah, I think it's literally Taro Suzuki is like John Smith in Japan.
When the police can't identify.
Yeah.
That's their John Doe. What do we got here, gentlemen? Well, Taro Suzuki.
Got Jane Suzuki.
Wasn't that weak ass hatchback that Garrett was lusting over a couple months back, a Suzuki, the one that was like petrol engine?
That was
talking about the Swift,
wasn't it?
Swift? No, that was a Swift.
It was like some special edition of the Swift though.
It was so lame. I don't even remember what company made
Suzuki
it.
Swift GT. Damn.
Yeah, maybe. There you go.
Oh, okay, there we go. Here's my whole thing is that you are just never going to be successful in America with a name like Suzuki.
Well,
their motorcycles are.
Yeah, their motorcycles are very popular.
You're just not going to, well, sure, but you're just not going to make a car. It's like to the common person, that name doesn't have enough. Mm-hmm. Like, what'd you get? Oh, a new Suzuki. It's like, it's too close to Pazuki.
Yeah, that's my first instinct.
Yeah, it just doesn't carry enough weight. Like Suzuki unveiled their new luxury flagship. Like, what is elegance? Suzuki. Yeah, it's like, okay. Their cars, I'm sure, are fine.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I know about them is, wasn't most people's like intro to Suzuki that like Pikes Peak?
Oh, the Escudo.
Is thing in Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
probably.
It's like the fastest car in the
Yeah, it was
that thing
like
was
the
sweet,
fastest car.
Yeah.
That's like the only thing I know about Suzuki. What's the Jimny? Is that like a little like?
It's like the new Samurai that they don't sell here.
Oh, they made the Samurai too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess they've got some like sleeper success stories that have some real strong.
In Japan, they have the Swift Sport, which is like kind of like a Fit, and that's pretty popular over there.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
I mean, the Samurai is a huge deal, right? Wasn't that like like go to?
Yeah, I mean the Jimny is still really popular in Japan.
Is it?
Yeah, it's tiny, but.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of outside my like.
A lot of the stuff they sold here was like rebadged Korean stuff. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like they never really made the transition to like make cars towards like for Americans, whereas like Honda, because I think both Honda and Suzuki started as motorcycle companies, and then they both transitioned into cars. But Honda was like, okay, we need to make cars geared more towards American, which is why they became popular, and Suzuki never did that. Like they just make quirky, small,
kind of
little,
making
little.
Yeah, I don't think they ever had the resources to like make a car specifically for here.
Right.
Yeah. Damn, the Jimny though. That's pretty hot. Is that sold here or no?
No, Suzuki like doesn't even exist here anymore.
Yeah, I think they pulled out like the cars from here. Now they just.
That's interesting because I could see this Jimny doing well. Because it's kind of got some.
I think there's I think there's no way it would pass like safety.
Yeah. Oh, it's like not crashable.
Yeah, that thing's fucking tiny.
Oh, it's crashable.
Oh, it's crashable. What's the small Jeep?
The Renegade.
Yeah, the Renegade. It's kind of some Renegade vibes.
Mm-hmm.
But the Jimny is actually like real 4x4.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I can see it like here.
That's probably why it's not safe.
This is probably the best shot they've ever had at being successful here, and they pulled out. But yeah, maybe with like American crash bumpers, it'd be like twice as big or something. Like bad retrofit. So I don't know. Probably smart that they're not here. If they were only bringing their like rebadged Daihatsus or whatever.
Daewoo.
The Daewoo Leganza rebadged as a Suzuki. Yeah, no strong opinions. Are they big in Australia or something? I wonder if like Tim is like feeling it over there. I feel their lineup is pretty weak. I would agree since I don't even know what it is. Yeah. Okay. And finally, so recently, I have been watching a lot more Netflix than I ever would have before, because leaving the house is frowned upon basically. But I noticed that Social Network is now available on Netflix, and I'm assuming most people have like seen it. But if you haven't or you haven't even heard of it, Social Network came out 10 years ago, maybe. As a movie with, what is that actor's name? He's in like Arrested Development or something, right? Isn't that the same?
Oh no, that's Michael Cera. It's with Jesse Eisenberg.
Same thing.
It's very common to confuse them. Yes, Michael Cera and Jesse Eisenberg are completely.
Are you sure?
I am 100% positive.
They both play kind of like
kind of weak.
Sure, yeah, quirky, lacking confidence. So, anyways, Social Network, 2010, it came out. Jesse Cera is the star. But it's this whole story about the formation of Facebook, where it's this like young kids. I mean, Facebook was like, it was kind of the first new age started by children big company. Like it was sort of the first like millennial young, like, but cutting edge kind of new type of business sort of thing. And so the story of its formation lends itself well to cinema, to film, because they made it look like, oh yeah, it's these badass kids and like the stupid old adults like don't understand, and like they're creating this kind of like Goliath.
And they're like backstabbing each other.
Yeah, it's like this crazy story or whatever. And it's like, I remember enjoying the movie. It's like it is a provocative story, and they end up making this like crazy successful, giant of a company. But that was 10 years ago. So in 2010, Facebook was 5 years old, maybe?
Yeah.
Like, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, really, only like really a couple years old in terms of like mainstream use.
Yeah. So
I think that was
I think it started in like 2003. Facebook kind of started when we were in high school.
Yeah. No, it started when we were in college, freshman year of college, like 2004, I think.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah.
So.
And that was only limited to like some schools.
Yeah, and its beginnings were very like exclusive, and like is neat or whatever. So 2010, yeah, Facebook, like it's awesome. It was actually like cool,
successful. Yeah.
Fast forward to 2020, like, is there a more cesspool husk of a formerly cool company?
Not even that, but I mean their influence has like they've like that Facebook like shapes society now. Like it like wins and loses elections and stuff. Like like we were kind of talking about like how there's like room for another chapter of that.
Sure.
Of that movie. Yeah.
And so we were joking about like a Social Network 2, like a sequel to that movie. Because it would just, the first one was like, oh yeah, we're like these badass like renegade, we're making a thing. Social Network 2 would be like Mark the like anti-vax like essential oil moms is like a hot market. We gotta up the advertising revenue from the like there's a lot of Russian bots on here. We can allow this. Like,
what's going on with that?
Just be like,
we have to speak in front of Congress.
Yeah, it's just Zuckerberg in front of Congress, and like it's a bunch of like return on investment on like boring ass shit. It's like that company went from like this sexy millennials paving the way to the future to like, like, is there a more like dissatisfying company these days than
even
Facebook?
The people that use it, where people are like, I don't want to use it, but I have to.
Everyone who still actively uses Facebook, like it's so similar to cigarettes. Anyone you talk to who smokes, they're like, I'm really trying to stop. I'm trying to cut back. Like I used to use it way more, but like it just keeps pulling me back, and I feel like a piece of shit every time I dip back in there. And so I was just kind of laughing seeing that show up, like, oh right, Social Network. Remember when Facebook was like this like
cool
story, this beacon of like coolness, and if you used it, you were kind of cool because of that. And now it has fallen. It has both risen to
extreme heights,
way more power and influence than it ever had before, and fallen into just the most embarrassing, just sad. It's such a sad arc. It is such a sad arc. So I don't know. Social Network 2, be on the lookout.
Yeah, the sequel. Yeah.
Coming out.
Carbros might just a bunch of like boardroom arguments about how to like capitalize on like, how do we get internet to Lithuanians so that we can push our like trash like
you can sell stuff too.
How do we influence the Lithuanian elections? How do we absolutely stomp out any competing social networks that are trying to bubble up these small communities and just swallow them up?
How do we make it where a company cannot survive unless they pay us money?
Yeah.
Didn't Facebook buy Oculus? They did, right? Pretty sure.
Yeah,
they bought.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, I know, but I totally forgot that they did, which is crazy because Oculus still actually makes some cool stuff, which is surprising since they're owned by Facebook.
Yeah, they make neat stuff. I mean, I'm kind of like waiting for Facebook to do some next thing. I mean, I feel like that was part of, I feel like that. Yeah. It's like, is this it? You're just. It's just essential oil ads, and like pyramid schemes. Like this is the end game. Like I guess this is where the money is. Anyways, Social Network, check it out. It's great. It's a great little vignette into a decade ago when people were like, social networking, what will it be? It's gonna change the world, and it will democratize.
That'll be the open exchange of ideas.
We're giving the voice to the people.
The rapid and open exchange of ideas. Surely not just chock full of Russian bots,
political memes.
And repost political memes. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Again, we are working on the logistics of reposting the Jay Leno thing on our channel. So if you have not seen that yet, not to fret, because as of this filming, we believe that we are allowed to allowed to repost that. That's been conveyed to us. So that should happen. But if you can't wait, I'm sure there's ways to find that season opener, Leno's Garage. Thank you again to all the people who contributed to this through our Patreon. We love you guys, including all the patrons who didn't add any comments. If you're interested in being a patron, do it. It's a good old time. Get in there, support us, show some love. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you enjoyed this, and we should be back probably 2 weeks. I think 2-3 weeks. That's about the cadence.
3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for being here. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time.
See you.
Bye-bye.